January 2021, Zim announces it has commenced an initial public offering.
Becoming a public company will enable us to grow, expand our portfolio, and offer even much better service to our customers.
It is a defining moment in the history of Zim to be a public company.
Honestly, it was an incredible experience. We really enjoyed working with Eli, Xavier, and the team there. They're a highly professional group.
Going public for every company is a big step and a huge moment.
A move from being a private-run company to being a public company that's controlled by many shareholders, and you have a whole different set of obligations being a public company.
I'm sure that everybody is very excited and very happy from this moment.
I think it's a historically significant transaction in the Israeli capital markets. Even now, looking at the holders list, I mean, it's a really high-quality shareholder list.
So it is absolutely a historical moment.
But it wasn't always a smooth ride for Zim.
We believe from day one it is possible, but we thought it's going to be very, very difficult.
This was unusual in a few different ways. It started with the fact that this was during COVID, so this was all done remotely.
Zim's IPO was the very first time that I had gone from the very, very beginning to the very, very end without physically meeting the client. So we did everything, all the prep work, all the meetings, all the pitching, and then all of the investor meetings entirely virtually.
We sent on 2 documents that we can use in discussions.
It takes a lot to pull off an IPO because ultimately there's other opportunity investors typically can look at and invest in. So you need to kind of bring something new and differentiating that makes them choose you as an interesting investment.
Zim was founded in 1945 by the Jewish Agency and the General Foundation of Laborers in the Land of Israel.
This company exists longer than the State of Israel. People don't realize that.
Well, I think people have known Zim for a long time. Zim is a great historical, the quintessential Israeli company, but it's also a shipping company and therefore has been subject to the cyclical nature of the industry.
Zim had 3 previous unsuccessful IPO attempts in 2008, 2011, and 2016.
This company tried to go public multiple times and failed.
They attempted actually going to market in a certain manner that was, in a sense, undifferentiated in a market that was perceived as one that investors could not, really create value.
I think you heard skepticism from people throughout the process as to whether they'd be able to get it done.
I think the difference between now and then is that there was a real attempt on the part of the management to reshape the equity story, to bring out what is Zim, but a new Zim.
In 2017, Eli Glickman takes office as president and CEO of Zim.
Many people in this country that were soliciting for this job, wanting this job, and Eli took it on, and he delivered. And this is, to me, this is something very unique. Thank you.
The turnaround that the company has gone through under the leadership of Eli and his management team is really unbelievable. Something we have not seen before in our group.
Look, Eli's fabulous. You tell just from meeting him that he's former military. It's not surprising when you Google him and you see, how senior he was in the Navy. And he's a fabulous guy.
Thank you to everyone for super hard work and just very proud to be part of it. So thank you.
I regard him as a friend. I think he's a man to talk and discuss with, and a person that gives advice but also listens to advice.
About $1.5 million valuation.
Eli's a very, very determined individual. It comes as no great surprise to learn about Eli's history in the Navy and in the commandos.
Eli has this leadership and his dedication to get from point A to point Z with 100% success.
It takes management, builds a coherent team around.
Eli and Walt Disney share a common trait. Walt Disney always says, if you can dream it, you can do it. And I think this is Eli.
There was a new management team that brought with them experience from other industries that kind of differentiated them, and I think that was very important.
I'm very glad that we together as a very different board with very different perspective.
The new management team really found a way to be more technology driven. They completely understood how they could fit in the industry in a way that other container shipping companies had not.
They rationalized the business to make it incredibly efficient.
Zim was going about doing the business differently. So it was the best of the legacy and the best of the new approach.
In November 2020, Zim reports a net profit of $144 million on an all-time third-quarter record. But is it the right time to go public?
Pricing of this transaction was definitely interesting, to say the least, and something that I will remember for a long time.
This is a historical moment for me and for the company. We have one more week, forced to run. And we're ready 24 hours for meetings.
It's a long slog. You've got months of preparation. You then have the road show, which is exhausting, just absolutely exhausting. 10 plus meetings a day, hours and hours and hours of speaking.
One of the biggest challenges with this transaction was actually less about Zim and much more about the sector. I can't remember a US liner to have gone public in the last probably decade.
This is the only IPO of a shipping company in the New York Stock Exchange for many, many, many years. And probably one of the only, in general, IPOs of shipping companies globally.
The hours before the public offering announcement are certainly nerve-wracking.
You definitely felt, to some extent, that you were in a military operation.
Today we didn't have such a success as yesterday. So we have to be all concentrate until the end of this week and early beginning of next week.
It's over those tough moments, where you're in the battle.
If the floor is 15 and 225 and it's close to certain, I understand there's no certainty, then we should go for it.
Some broker, please. I will go for $15 a share. I think that any delay, given the process in this offering and the reduction of the enthusiasm of the group, it caused us a very long time delay of this offering, and I don't think we'll be able to pull it out in the near quarter.
There were a number of things that I worried about up front that could go wrong. Obviously financial statement preparation, the market, dealing with their shareholders and whether shareholders would balk at the terms or balk at the lockup.
The really stressful time comes when you then take this creation, your positioning, and you bring it to the market in the form of a roadshow, because that's when you really know whether or not, as a professional, you've done a good job for your client.
And you say to the people, okay, now it's time to make a decision. You can't stay on the sidelines. That's the most worrying moment. Are you going to be able to fulfill the demand for this IPO, or are you not? And it's a very stressful moment. It's a very stressful, 10 days.
Despite the difficulties, Zim is moving forwards with the IPO. This is where the CEO, Eli Glickman, demonstrates his abilities.
Clearly, the guy doesn't take no for an answer. Essentially, he sees a goal that others thought was impossible and just charging through.
Okay, Dylan, please work fast. You have the green light. We have to ask the board for approval because we have the 16 to 19. We're going to ask our board now for a special meeting. Okay, so we will meet 1 hour, 15 minutes from now. Again, please go ahead and close the deal as fast as you can.
When he took over the company, he promised many things. I mean, he was shooting for the moon. And we said, yeah, okay, sure. And he delivered.
And I, as you know, take challenge and question seriously and not emotionally.
I've been lucky to been working with Eli for a second time in his career, so I knew his perseverance and his strength to lead the company.
The investors are going to enjoy very high return on investment.
He was in touch with me and my team on an almost daily basis. Where are the meeting requests? What's the feedback? What's the pushback? What can we do differently? What can we do better? Didn't matter what time of day it was.
They said, we're in this to win it, and whatever it takes, if you tell us that it takes another meeting, we'll take another meeting. If that meeting is at midnight Tel Aviv time, that's what we'll do.
The management team at Zim were incredibly decisive. and prepared to take some risks to get things done.
This management makes sure that we will not leave a single stone unturned. They were willing to go very broad. They were willing to speak to any investor who would be willing to listen to their story.
For us, the most important part is to make the deal.
Eli's direction was, I need to achieve this objective.
There was nothing that was offline. He wanted to get the deal done, and he and the team and Sam made sure that they did everything they could to get the deal done.
And it's a quote from Einstein that basically says, if you want the results to be different, don't do the same thing all over and over and over again. And this is exactly what happened in this IPO, because we did things differently. And this is something that we took from Eli day one.
I see Laura, I see Eric, I see Barclays. Hopefully Jefferies is on as well.
The punchline is we were able to get a $14.5 million base deal at $15 a share that will be in a position to price this evening.
When we got to pricing and there was a deal, it was super exciting, and you could see the excitement on the faces of management and the directors, and it was great to be a part of it.
Everybody's excited here, so I just want to use this opportunity. We worked very hard over here, and you worked very hard, so we have a history here.
And I think seeing the IPO price and then trade really well, and that's something that I would definitely cherish forever.
ZIM is in my blood for around 50 years, 50. When my father joined the company, and it's like a part of my blood, my family, and it's, as El said, it's a historical moment. It's touching, and I think that the utmost appreciation for the initiative, the perseverance, the efforts, and the amazing achievements.
This feeling that we were charging an objective and we were going to get there come what may, and then we did.
Thank you very much.
On January 27th, ZIM announces the pricing of its initial public offering of 14,500,000 ordinary shares at price of $15 per ordinary share.
I am very proud to announce the conclusion of ZIM IPO.
The moment when you are successful is the most important moment.
Today is one of the most excited days in ZIM history.
It is a good time for the Shehecheyanu prayer, which means more or less in English that we are thanking God for giving us the opportunity or enabling us to reach this very special moment. Really, it's a miracle.
Eli and CEO Xavier, the CFO, those two decisions were fundamental to the results we are having today.
The best part of working with companies when they go public is watching them go public and see them price, and that excitement is amazing.
I think that the energy and the focus of management was very different than the previous times.
Best day of my life since I came to ZIM. Very happy.
Congratulations, this is really a major achievement.
A whole new era is now starting for us as a company. Not only for management, not only in the trade, not only vis-a-vis our customers. We are a different company.
Thank you very much. Very sorry that we are not here to all of us together in this exciting and emotional moment.
I can definitely appreciate the change that has taken place in the past few years and under your leadership.
I would like to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to be the CEO of this company. I know from the first moment when I said this company is going to be one of the 3 top leaders in EBIT margin.
And I'm not just talking about Eli, I'm talking about the 20 to 30 people that were involved from the management side at this IPO, really believed that this is going to be successful and pushed us as their advisors very, very hard. Like I've never ever seen a company push its advisors to make sure that this is a success.
And from now on, we are talking about how to do things faster, innovative. Wishing everybody good luck and good success. Thank you.
A few months later, Zim is looking straight at the horizon, to the future.
We saw the stock react very well in the days to come, and it has continued to be very strong.
You can see that in how the stock is traded, up 175% post-IPO. That makes it one of the best performing IPOs this year globally.
It's been a long and challenging journey for Zim and the investors. But looking back at this successful IPO, everyone who was involved can look at the outcome with great satisfaction.
Everyone from the top all the way down to everyone involved at Zim, it was an impressive team effort.
It's very good for the company and it's a very big achievement. Has always been fun to be in the boardroom, whether in person or right now and with short notice. It's great. Yeah, let's see that we continue like that and make it bigger.
And I just want to say three things, like Obama. Well done, douze fois, Xavier, and Mazal Tov to all of us.
Good luck.
The fact Idan never stopped believing in the company throughout its challenging years obviously saved the company and allowed all stakeholders to benefit from the significant value creation. This is something we are really proud of.
To be part of Zim was not something to be very proud of in the old days, and now suddenly that switch is amazing. And I think people are walking on air in the corridors here in the company.
We are very happy to be here today and to celebrate the huge success of Zim IPO. As I said, this is just the beginning. I'm sure we are going to change the world of container shipping. So thank you very much.
As we speak, Zim is a $4.5 billion company. It is not a trivial size. That's a very meaningful public shipping company. Compared to most public shipping companies, Zim is a giant.
It is not an exit. It is an entrance into a new world and a new reality for Zim and its management and its employees and its shareholder. And it's a new beginning, and it's definitely a historical moment.
For me, it was really a spectacular process. I really enjoyed it. I love the people there. I think they're phenomenal, each one in his own way. Really, I just really wish them a tremendous amount of success. I'm sure they're gonna, this is only the beginning of an amazing future.
And to high return on investment. Good luck to all of us.